Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to week 2 of this 10-week series. Really looking forward to this morning with you. So please say hi in the chat and just going to review what we've done, what we did last week, and then we can get straight on to the exercises this week. So, yep, here we go. Okay, so this is the support meeting exercise class. We started off as a class for our clients back in the early days of the lockdown, and it's evolved into a kind of ongoing yearly cycle now, which we're really excited about. We're going to go through the whole year with the group and experience the seasons and build up a knowledge of how we can support our health the Shiatsu way. Okay, we're going to find out how you're doing. We're going to find out which zone you're on. I'm going to look back at last week, and I'd like to just mention how we can understand the nervous system with reference to yin and yang. Then we've got a point of the week, and we're going to work our way up the kidney channel. So last week we did kidney 1, if you remember, and this week we're going to do another point on the kidney meridian. And then we're going to do this special thing, which is we're going to tune into your energy. I'm going to tune into my energy. We'll do some polls. We'll find out where we are this week, and then we'll kind of just change the exercises around and make sure that they suit us go forwards into the winter with the pandemic. Okay, so here we are. We're on week 2 now. We're going to just introduce the 5 elements. We're going to look at kidney 3. We're going to look back at yin and yang. But first of all, let's just find out how you are, how you're doing. By the way, Dinah is in the chat as well. So if you've got any issues as we go along, just say hi to Dinah in chat and she'll look after you. Okay, so first of all, let's just find out how you are. I just want to we do this every week. We just want to find out your general stress level. Like, how are you actually coping right now? I'm just going to give you those options, either well, okay, neutral, or if you're feeling stressed or very stressed, then you can check those boxes. And then we'll do our best by finding out which zone you're in, which of the 3 heaters are most affected, and we'll work out a way that we can help ourselves get back into that coping zone there. Okay, so look, we've got over a third of you feeling stressed or very stressed, so we want to do something about that. We want to get you back into that area where you can enjoy life a little bit more. Okay, so that's the first poll. Right, we're going to look at these 3 zones now, and I'm going to reference them to yin and yang. Okay, so we've got yin, which is the quiet, cool aspects of the body and of the universe connected to the earth. And we've got yang, which is more movement related to ki and warmth and everything. Okay, and you can look and you can see this chart and you can really understand it in terms of yin and yang, because obviously we tend to get more yang. We go into the sympathetic nervous system zone, we get hotter, we get more active. Interestingly enough, there was a report in the paper today that more people were driving fast in the lockdown, which is very interesting, and that's because they were in that hyper state of the sympathetic nervous system state. Now, what we want to be really careful of is not being able to deactivate that down into the green zone. Now, to do that, to get back into that green zone, which is where the yin and yang is balanced, where we're having joyfulness, we're joyful, we're in the present, we feel grounded, we have compassion, that kind of green zone where we operate the best. We need to balance yin and yang. We go into the red zone, we get more yang. And what happens when we push yang to its limit, the thing about yin and yang is when you push it to its limit, it turns into the opposite. And that's what happens. We go into the free state, which is a yin state of not moving. So I want you to just think a little bit for a second about which zone you think you're in or you've been in the last week. And we'll find out what the options are. The options are you safely in the green zone? Are you mainly in the red zone, mainly in the blue zone, or mixture of green and red, or a mixture of red and blue? And we're going to find out where you are, and we're going to adjust the exercises because you need to do slightly different things to get from the blue zone or the red zone back into the green zone. Okay. Now look, we've got mixture. We've got nearly 20% of you are actually going between the red and the blue zone, and that's something we want to really address. Okay. Some of you are nicely in the green zone. We've actually got some of you as well who are right in the blue zone. So we want to make sure that we can help you. It's really important because, and I'll explain how the breathing works, because actually the normal breathing exercise when you're relaxing won't help you if you're in that blue zone, because what will happen is it will make you stay in the zone. It's too yin. Okay, so we're going to explain how you can use the breathing this week to get you from the blue zone down into the red and the green, or from the red zone down into the green. Okay, so looking forward to that. Okay, so we found out which zone you're in, and it's just a little bit too many people for my liking that are in the blue zone there. We want to definitely do something about that. So we're going to do the energy exercises of the heaters. The next thing is to find out which of the 3 heaters that you need work on. And you need your piece of paper or your memory, okay? And just take a piece of paper, divide it up into 3 equal areas, okay? And then we're going to tune into each of the 3 areas, and we're going to get a feel for what's happening with them, okay? So this is what it looks like. You want 3 pieces of paper like that. And I'll just remind you of the zones. I'll do it in a standing position this week, I think. So let's just stand, relax, tune into our body. And we're going to tune into the lower heater. That's this area here, below the navel and around into the sacrum. You can close your eyes, go internally, and just get a sense of how you're feeling in that lower heater zone. Okay, ask yourself, what is it like? If you had to draw a picture or write some words, what would it be like? Okay, and I'm going to draw that in the lower box. Okay, because we need to correlate the red and blue zones with the heaters, and we'll show you how you can start to balance out your energy and make sure you don't go into that real shutdown state. Okay, and also deactivate from the red zone more comfortably into that green zone. Okay, so you've got your lower heater. Now let's go up into the middle heater. And just to remind you, I'll just give you a close up here. The middle heater is this area here. Is actually the stomach and the liver is all kind of in this area. It goes around into the lower thoracic here. All right, and it encompasses this whole area, middle area here below the diaphragm. Okay, so we're going to tune into that area. You can just close your eyes, tune internally into what it feels like. Okay, turn that feeling into a picture or into some words, and then we can write them down in the middle heater area here. And if you were here last week, you might like to just check in and see how much your middle heater has changed since last week. Okay, excellent. Right. And so now we're going to go in for the final one, which is the upper heater. Just to remind you, the upper heater is the whole lung area, above the diaphragm and above the thoracic spine. So it's this whole area here. It encompasses the lungs and the heart. Okay. Right. So here we go. Let's close our eyes and just spend a minute just tuning into the upper heater. Okay, have you got a picture for that feeling? Or some words that you want to write down? Okay, and if you're here last week, you might remember what your picture was last week and compare it, see how you are in comparison. Okay, excellent stuff. So now let's quickly do a poll and find out where we are with the heaters. Which burner would you like to work on today? And so if you'd just like to vote, that will help us design the exercises for you. And we'll just see what's happening and how things are moving. If you remember last week, we had a massive popularity for the middle burner. And it's really switched around this week. It's much more even and much more upper heater than we had last week. Look at that. That's a massive change. That means that can mean several things. We'll investigate them as we go through. But it looks like this week we're going to have to even out the exercises between all of the burners. Pretty much similar with each one. Massive change from last week. Let's hope that last week successfully moved a lot of that stagnation that a lot of us were feeling in the middle burner. Okay, so we'll just have 2 minutes. We'll just review. This is what we ideally like to see in the burners: an open, relaxed feeling, a flexible feeling in the middle burner, and a strong and relaxed feeling in the lower burner. And that's what we're going to be aiming for today when we work through the burners. Okay, we're going to be doing the exercise in a second, but before we do that, let's just have a look back at week 1. We looked at yin and yang and how it means the sunny side of the hill, the shady side of the hill. We discussed that it was a complementary thing. It's not like a opposing thing. And basically, it's the basis of Chinese medicine. It connects our body to the environment. Okay, here's some associations. We will be getting some notes out to you very soon so you can read up about these. We looked at kidney 1, that point on the sole of the foot, and we experimented with the action. So now we have week 2. What exactly are the 5 elements? Well, basically, yin and yang are great for 2 things, like day and night, hot and cold, winter and summer. But if we want a bit more detail in the way that yin and yang moves one into the other, for example, the seasons, then we need more than 2 things. And the 5 elements is an attempt, it's in a metaphoric way that we can connect with the seasons, with transformations of energy in our body. And over the centuries in China and Chinese medicine, there were different correlations to those feelings and energies that linked with the seasons, linked with the tastes, with the emotions. And it's kind of a model that we can use, that we can connect ourselves to the environment. And as we all know, where we are with planet Earth at the moment is we seriously need to connect ourselves to the environment. So the 5 element model is a great one for that. Okay, and you can see here's the cycle of the 5 elements with each of the seasons. Summer, of course, is the most yang, that's the fire element at the top there. And then at the bottom, we've got autumn and winter, that's more yin. And then we've got spring and summer, late summer, which takes us round into the different seasons. Okay, so at the moment, we're just coming into the beginning of winter, we're coming into the water element, and that's why we put together this 10-week series for you to find out more about how we can balance our energy in the winter season. So yeah, that's just an introduction to 5 elements, and next week we are going to do some more detailed stuff about associations, the 5 elements. And point of the week, everyone, dun, 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 dun. It's one of our favorites, kidney 3, okay? It's called Supreme Stream. That's a pretty big name to live up to, isn't it? It tonifies both the kidney yin and yang, so that's basically the cooling and the warming aspects of the body. Look at this, it benefits the lungs, and we're going to find out more about the links between the water element and the breathing later on in the series. And it also strengthens the lumbar spine, and we'll work this into our series of exercises today. Okay, so cool. So that's our introduction to the 5 elements. More on that next week. And look what we've got. We've got a balance between all the elements, but we've got rather a worrying lot of movement into that blue zone. So we need to do something about that. And I'm going to start off straight away by explaining how we can use the breath to get us from the red zone into the green zone, and from the blue zone down through the red zone into the green zone. Okay, and it's all to do with yin yang. Now, if we are in the red zone, we're overactive, we're too yang, we need to calm down. Okay, and this is what we do. This is a standard breathing exercise. Let's go through it together. Feet shoulder width apart, head floating up. Let's just feel our center here, relaxing the hips. Okay, so now we're going to do this exercise, and we're just going to tune into where the breath goes. Okay, so we're breathing in and breathing out. Okay, now we want to really connect with heaven and earth here, so let's get those legs really solid on the ground. Relax your hips. Okay, now if we evenly emphasize the breath, so we're breathing in and breathing out. Let's do that for a moment. That's neutral in terms of yin and yang. Okay, keep that head top suspended. Got it? Okay, just keep it nice and even. Okay, so now try this. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to make the out breath much longer and emphasize it. So here we go. breathing in. Okay, one more, breathing in. Just keep that neck really relaxed, keep that head floating up. Okay, now did you sense how that long out breath made us feel calm? Okay, now for those of you who are in the red zone and going up into the red zone, that's what you need. You need to elongate the out breath because it makes you more chill, it makes you more yin, and it takes you down into that green zone. But as we saw from the poll, we've got quite a substantial number of us that are starting to get into that blue zone, and you don't want to do that type of breathing if you're in the blue zone, because that's too yin for you and it will just keep you in the yin zone. So let's all just experience what it's like to emphasize the in breath. Okay, so here we go. Align again, float up. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a long and focused in breath and then just breathe out. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Got it? So long, focused in breath. Very good. Okay, again, one more time. And okay, now can you see how the action of that's much different? It's much more stimulating, and that's what you need when you're in the blue zone. You don't want to chill out anymore because you're chilled enough already. You just want more activity. You want more emphasis on in-breath, and the other thing you want is more movement. Okay, so bear that in mind when we're doing these exercises today. If you're more in the red zone, if you're tending to be in the blue zone, activate the breath. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Here we go. So this is we're going to start off with the lower heater, okay, and this is really important because the lower heater is related to the water element. Yes, okay, which is the element of this series. Okay, so we're going to rub our hands together, and the reason it's really important that we activate the lower burner and the water element is because why do you think it's so hard to have lockdown in the winter? Think about yin and yang. Okay, lockdown's a very yin thing. It's isolating, you're inside, you can't move about, you can't see people, okay? And so that's yin already. So then if you do it in the winter, you're going to have double yin, okay, which is kind of depressing. So it's not surprising that more of us are going up into that blue zone, okay? And one of the ways we can activate that is by getting the lower dantian really active because it stimulates the kidney yin and yang. So let's place our hands over the dantian. We're going to bring the breath in. Now don't forget, if you're in the blue zone, keep that emphasis, a little bit more emphasis on the in-breath. Okay, and if you're in the red zone, emphasize the out-breath. But whichever one you do, you want to bring the energy into the hands and you want to energize this lower dantian. And I'll just explain where it is again, just to demonstrate again. It's 1.5 inches below the navel. We're placing our palm right over that area. We're going to activate that lower hara. Now remember from last week we did kidney 1, and this week we're doing kidney 3, and remember the action of kidney 3 was it stimulates the yin and yang of the kidneys, which stimulates the yin and yang of the whole body. So no matter whether you need to chill out or activate, depending on whether you're on the red or the blue zones, this is what you need to start off with. You need to get this really energized. So keep that breathing going, emphasizing either the in-breath or the out-breath, or if you're nicely in the green zone, then you can keep it balanced in and out, okay? But let's focus in this area and let's get this whole area really energized. Okay, now as we're doing this, we need to connect with heaven and earth, so let's get those legs really heavy, relaxing my hips, relaxing my knees, relaxing my feet. Okay, relaxing the shoulders. Keep that head floating up. Get that breath really nicely down into the lower dantian. Okay, and those of you in the blue zone, you want to imagine you're generating loads of warmth and movement that's going to bring you back to life. And if you're in the red zone, you're imagining this getting stronger and calmer. It's going to chill you out. Okay, connecting. So you can adapt it depending on where your nervous system is right now. Okay, very good. Now let's keep those knees relaxed though, and the ankles. Keep that kidney one open. Don't forget that's your main foundation with the yin. Really important, especially for the red zone people. Okay, and if you'd like to just lift your head a little bit more, keep this really free. Just allow that yang energy to come in from above, especially if you're in the blue zone, you're probably feeling like this, you're probably feeling really heavy, kind of like this. Okay, and lifting up, opening up here is going to help that yang energy come in. That will help get you out of that blue zone. Okay, here we go. Very good. Can you feel that? Nicely energized lower burner. Okay, now last week we had a lot of middle burner. Most of you had middle burner blockages, didn't we? But we worked the lower burner first, and there's a reason for that in the 5 elements, because the water element feeds the wood, a bit like water feeds the trees, and it keeps the trees flexible. If you don't have water in a tree, it gets dry and brittle and fixed. So what we're doing here symbolically is we're generating energy in the water element, and that water will go up and it will make this lovely middle burner really nice and lubricated and nourished with liquid and nice and flexible. Okay, so let's get into the next part of the exercises, which is freeing up the middle burner. Before we do that, let's energize the lower back. Especially as we want to get the kidney energy really strong. So if you can do this, and just connecting with ladder 23. If you can't do that, if you've got problems with your shoulders, just keep doing this and send the energy down through and into your back. Okay, let's just get that really strong. Just relax your hips a little bit more and connect with kidney 1. Connect with that point on the foot. That's it. Okay, really get that connection with the earth. Okay, and if you've got lower back pain or stiffness, then you can just rub the lower back. That's a really nice feeling. Okay, you notice that kidney 3, that point of the week, strengthens the lumbar spine. So in a moment, we're going to do some special work on that towards the end of the exercises. Okay, here we go. So now we've generated that water energy, it's going up here and it's making this area nice and fluid. And we're going to do this exercise again. If you're in the blue zone, I'd like you to do this a little bit more vigorously. I'd like you to emphasize the in-breath, and I want you to really get some movement going here. Okay, if you're in the red zone, we're going to emphasize the exhalation. We do it a little bit more gently and let's chill it out. Okay, so it's up to you where you feel. And if you're in the green zone, let's just keep it kind of in the middle. So I'll demonstrate what I mean, okay? If you're in the blue zone, you want to go into it like this, and we're going to emphasize the in-breath. So it's okay, I can already start feel myself starting to get warmer doing that. And I'm going to do it a little bit vigorously because you want to unfreeze that middle burner. The middle burner is very prone to freezing in the blue zone, okay? It's all to do with the liver and the stomach, which we'll go into later. Okay, so we've got to unfreeze your body. That's what you're doing. Okay, now if you're in the red zone, you want to emphasize the exhalation. And you're releasing the middle burner. Very different effect. Okay, so I'd like you to choose what you most need. And if you're nicely in the green zone already, well done. We're going to keep you there by just keeping that middle burner open and keeping the breath even, inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so we're going to use the principle of yin and yang and the 5 elements to get us right through this winter and into the spring and summer next year. We're only on week 2. It's very exciting. Okay, so keep that really releasing. Very good. Okay, now look, if we come back to the center now and tune in internally, what you should feel is activation here that's kind of connecting up into this area here, into the diaphragm. If you can feel that, you're feeling a connection between the water and the wood element, okay, which is, in 5 element terms, is a really good part of the cycle there. Okay, so let's do some meridian work, some tapping for the middle burner, and we're going to work the stomach and the gallbladder channels, and we're going to rub our hands together. Okay, now if you're in the blue zone and you're feeling numb and you want to feel more in your body, then just tap just strong enough. We're going to go down the stomach channel here. Just tap strong enough to bring yourself into your body and activate your awareness of your body. But in the blue zone, what happens is you tend to get this feeling of numbness. It's a natural function of the nervous system. It's designed so that you won't feel anything if you get attacked by a predator. It's a natural response to the nervous system. But what we want to do is kind of wake ourselves up. So what you'll be doing if you're in the blue zone is waking yourself up. Now, if you're in the red zone, you're probably a little bit hyped, you're tight, the muscles are tight, you're too overactive. So what we're doing with this is we're basically calming down the muscles, releasing any tightness in the muscles. Okay, similar technique, but a different intention depending on whether you need to wake yourself up or whether you need to relax the muscles. Okay, so we're going to go from the stomach meridian here. That's one of the main organs in the middle burner, and it's to do with anxiety and worry, plenty of that around. So let's just calm our mind and just get rid of some worry here by working down the stomach channel. Up the spleen channel, which is up the inside front of the leg. Again, you don't need to worry about the exact location, just the whole inside front of the leg. When we get to the earth element, we'll do this in more detail. Okay, so we're going to go down outside. Very good. Okay, we're going to flow straight into the wood element, the liver and gallbladder. So we're going to go down the outside the legs now. And then up. Excellent stuff. And then down the outside, well done. One more. Okay. Okay, let's just shake out our legs. Just shaking out our legs. Okay, let's check in again. Let's see what that feels like. Okay, lower heater. Nice. Upper heater. Nice feeling of movement there and connection down the legs. Can you feel that tingling feeling down the channels of the legs? That's really good because that helps free up and energize the middle heater. Also gets rid of any tension if you're in the red zone. So that's really, really good. Okay, excellent. So now let's do some work on the upper heater and then we'll go back, we'll look at the point of the week and we'll do some work on our feet and we'll do some other exercises to finish up. So let's work on the upper heater. Quite a lot of upper heater people this week. In fact, it's pretty much 1/3, 1/3. So let's do a little bit more work on the upper heater. First of all, let's work the lungs, feet shoulder width apart, connect with the earth, open up kidney 1, lift up our arms, okay, and then drop our arms back. Okay, now don't forget if you're in the blue zone, you want to emphasize the inhalation. Okay, so it's obviously if you get a bit giddy, you start hyperventilating, just take it easy, but you want to activate that in-breath and get that free starting to move, okay? Okay, if you're in the red zone, you want to do the opposite. You want to okay, because you need chilling out. And if we're in the green zone, then you just keep it nice and even and keep yourself in that green zone, in that joyful state of being connected to yourself and to the universe. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. You keep it nice and easy. I'll give you a side view. I'm just bringing my arms up and dropping them back. Excellent. Okay, very good. So that's a Qigong, a medical Qigong exercise. They do that in hospitals in China for people with lung problems. Just keep those thumbs out to open up the lung channel. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of doing on the lung channel now. We're going to tap around this area here. This is lung 1. It's going to help us move from autumn into winter and to activate the lungs. You might want to make a bit of a sound. Okay, we're going to go down. We're going to aim towards the thumb. And then we're going to come back up, hair channel up here, large intestine. Very good. Go down. And then up. There we go. That's it. Nice. Okay, excellent. Let's do the other side. Make some sounds. We're going down the lung channel. Down into the thumb. And then back up. Very good. Now this is going to help both red and blue zone people because we need that lung channel to be open. Just do a bit of shaking here, just shake out the upper body. We need that breath to come in and to go out smoothly. It's really important for the regulation of the nervous system. And the trouble with both the red and the blue zone is it can affect breathing, which kind of locks us into a particular pattern, particularly the blue zone where the breathing shuts down and we get kind of really low and depressed. Really important to get those lungs working, get them open, get some chi in there, get some yang energy coming from the heavens into the lungs to activate us. And by the same token, when we're overstimulated, we need the breath to calm us down. Okay, but whichever way, we need that lung channel to be open. Very good, excellent. So now let's do some work on the pericardium and the heart channels. Let's just do that. Get this area here calm down. So we're going to breathe in. Your side view, I'm breathing in, I'm leaning forwards, breathing out. And I'm stretching towards my middle finger and feeling that stretch right into the chest. That's the pericardium channel. Breathing in and breathing out. Very good. Breathing in and breathing out. Very good. Okay, now we're going to do the heart stretch. This is one of my favorites. We're stretching up, breathing in. Open up those armpits. Keep those feet on the ground though. Keep the kidney one open. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. And stretching back. Stretching my fingers back towards the wall. Opening up the armpits, opening out the elbows like this, and that opens up the heart channel in the arm. Okay, here we go. Breathing in the second time, breathing in, breathing out. in and breathing out. Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, so let's just do some a little bit of doing, and we're just going to do some points as well. We're going to do some points on the hands and on the feet. So let's just tap gently down the pericardium channel and the heart channel. So it's basically the inside of the arm here, going down towards the inside of the wrist. Okay, now that's all related to the heart, so we're just brushing down, and we go down, we can pull this little finger and pull the middle finger. There we are, that's really nice. And then the same the other side, we're just going to tap down. Pericardium channel. The one we stretched when we went out like this, then the heart channel, the one that we stretched when we went over the top of our head, that goes down here into the little finger. So just gently tapping down, calming the whole of the upper heater here. Very good. Okay, excellent. And then we go down to the little finger and the middle finger. Very good. Okay, excellent. Checking in with the 3 heaters now. Lower heater, middle heater, nice and flexible. And can you feel how much warmer and kind of more open the upper heater feels like? Pretty good, okay? Which just leaves us to, I think what we need is a bit more connection with the earth. Let's do some work on our feet, and we can then incorporate point of the week, okay? So I'm going to just adjust my camera so you can see me working on my foot. And if you want to sit on a chair, or if you can sit on a mat or something so you can get to your feet, that'll be great. Okay, so remember last week we did kidney 1. I'll just take my sock off so you can see where it is. Let's just do a little routine for the foot. Okay, really important to stimulate the soles of the feet to keep us grounded, particularly those red zone people. Very important. Kidney 1, if you're in the red zone, kidney 1 and kidney 3, which we're going to do in a minute, are really important points. They connect you with the earth, they chill you out your head, keep your head from, calm your head down. Just what you need. Superb points. And remember last week how effective this was. We really felt very different after we did some work on kidney 1. Okay. So we're just opening up kidney 1 now, just stretching the foot. And kidney 3 is right here on the ankle, and what I'll do is I'll actually show you the picture. Here it is. It's halfway between the medial malleolus, that's technical term for the ankle bone, and halfway between the ankle bone and the Achilles tendon. Okay, and I can show you exactly where that is on my foot. It's halfway between here, that's the medial malleolus if you're interested, the ankle bone, and this is the Achilles tendon. So you just literally draw a line. And that point is right there. Okay, and I'll tell you a few stories about this point. I had a client once came to me with very, very severe fatigue, and this whole area was actually black. It looked black, like it had been bruised, but it was just the kidney channel was really, really deficient. And over a series of sessions, that blackness just totally disappeared as her energy improved. And so if you look around here and you see some gray or black, it could be indicating that you've got deficiency of energy in the kidney channel, and it's a really good point for that. Now we can incorporate that into our routine by doing this kind of thing. If you can reach kidney 1, and you can then press between kidney 1 and up into kidney 3, here, halfway between the ankle and the Achilles tendon. And if you'd like to feel a connection between 2 points, you can press into kidney 1 and press into kidney 3 at the same time. And if you just relax your arms, feel a nice even pressure on both those points, you may get a sensation up the inside of your legs and into the sort of lower burner area If you can get that feeling, then you're feeling the actions of those points to tonify the kidney energy, or the kidney yin and yang, or the lower burner, or the water element, whichever way you want to think of it. And that's a really lovely feeling, just holding those points. Okay, really nice point combination. And that incorporates in our point of the week, kidney 3, which, to remind you, is called Supreme Stream. It tonifies the kidney yin and yang, so it's good for the blue and the red zone, okay? It benefits the lungs, more about that in the next couple of weeks, and it strengthens the lumbar spine. And you may even, if you've got a little bit of lower backache, you may even be able to feel a connection between these 2 points and the lower back, just getting a little bit stronger there. Okay, it's a very powerful point. It's one we use all the time when we do Shiatsu. And in fact, if you come in for a session with me or with any of the others in the team and you feel us feeling around here at the beginning of the session when you're lying on your back, what we often do is we feel that point and see whether it feels weak or blocked, because that can give us an indication of the energy of the whole body. So just one little tip, what we do when you come in, if you're wondering what we're doing when we hold onto your ankles and we're feeling around there, that's what we're doing. We're tuning into kidney 3 and finding out what kind of kidney energy you've got, which is really important. We also use that point to strengthen the lower back, and also just generally to tonify the whole body. Okay, so let's get that kidney 1 activated first of all. I'm using all my fingers, I'm just pressing in there. Oh, that feels so good. And then we can work to connect up from kidney 1, up here and into kidney 3, halfway between the inside of the ankle bone and the Achilles tendon, just right there. So we can thumb our way up there using self-acupressure, connecting those 2 points. And then holding kidney 1 and holding kidney 3, getting the pressure pretty even and feeling a connection between the 2 points. And then tuning into the channel, tuning into the leg, and seeing if you can feel any connections with your knee, maybe with your hip, lower back, or the lower burner in general. And if you can feel a sensation, what's happening there is you're sensing the facial pathways that create the channel all the way up into the main part of the body. Okay, and that's just some self-shiatsu you can do if you need some help during the week. Those of you in the red zone, I really recommend that if you need to calm down, work the soles of your feet, work kidney 1 and work kidney 3. And if you're in the blue zone, I would recommend doing the same and holding here until you feel some kind of activation in the lower burner, because that's basically waking up your nervous system from that freeze state. Okay, excellent. Well, I think that's going to make a big difference, but we can find out, can't we? Let's have a stand up again, and we'll find out and see what the effect of working those 2 kidney points has had. Let's pop the camera back down again. So, okay, so let's stand again and see what difference that's made. Pretty good, isn't it? What an awesome couple of points they are. Can you feel how your ankles feel kind of more open? Your soles of your feet kind of sinking down into the earth. And not only that, you feel like the inside of your leg here is starting to be activated all the way up. And that's the power of those 2 points in keeping us totally connected to the earth, keeping us chilled out from the red zone, but also kind of activating and making sure that we've got some yang energy if we start creeping into that blue zone. Okay, fantastic. So we've balanced our burners. We've got those 2 kidney points humming away. It's all feeling really awesome. The only thing we need to do now is just make sure there's no lurking obstruction in those yang channels. Now remember, the yang channels run down this way. They run down the outside of the body. If I do this, you can see the yang channels. 2 things can happen. The yang channels can freeze up if you're in the blue zone. They'll freeze and you'll feel like rigid and depressed and kind of like this. Or if you're in the red zone and you're really hyper, it can get tight and you can get like this. Okay, so whatever happens, we need to do is we need to get those yang channels released. So let's get on with it. Okay, let's get on with that. Let's start off with the head. We're going to do some tapping. Just do a bit of close up here. I'm going to tap in the bladder channel on the top of the head. Tapping around the sides of the head. Okay, and then we can work around the forehead. All the yang channels begin and end on the head. So it's really important to work the head and the face, just as it's important to work the feet. It's important to work the feet because they connect with the yin. Really important to work the face because it's connected to the yang. And for those of you in the freeze state, you may notice that your facial expression starts to go dead. When it freezes up, you stop smiling. Okay, so if you're in the blue zone, you want to get those smiling muscles working. Really, really important. Because the vagal nerve is directly connected to the smiling muscles. If you can get those smiling muscles unfrozen, you're going to feel a completely different person. You're going to feel the heart area relaxing. And you'll feel the nervous system starting to balance out. And you can do that yourself. Just get that yang channels around the face unfrozen. Just try smiling, really force it. And then relax. Okay, and then just once you've unfrozen those muscles, you feel a connection with the heart. That smile comes out. That's a really powerful way to re-regulate the vagal nerve and the freeze response. Okay, so let's just really get that those yang channels moving. Okay, here's another favorite place for either obstruction or freeze, and that's around the base of the cranium. Okay, so luckily I've got the right haircut for it, as you can see. You can see right here, this space of the cranium here. There's several points there. One of them, which we're going to do later on in this series, bladder 10, is here. And then there's other gallbladder points here. But basically what we can do is if you can do this, get into the back of your base of your cranium here, free that up. Again, it's a very important part of getting those yang channels freed up. Now, one thing I would say about the free zone is it's quite a lot, if it is associated with shame, like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but I just feel like I'm depressed, I can't do anything. Okay, there's absolutely no shame involved with going into the blue zone. It's just a message from your nervous system saying that it's taken as much as it can handle, and it's a natural nervous system response. Okay, so it's just one of those things that we do. It's not a great defense mechanism because it was designed for lizards and things like that. It's part of the primitive nervous system, and your body will only go into the blue zone if it really has no other options. But we can use self-shiatsu techniques to help you get out of that, because that's not a nice feeling. Everything feels like it's really, really dead and heavy. And we want to bring you back to life, okay? So let's work on that. Work on getting these yang channels as active as we can. We're just going to pull our ears, okay, and then swipe it off. Okay, now just see if your face moves a little bit more, feels a little bit more active. Okay, pretty good. We've released the base of the cranium, so now all we need to do is just spend some time getting those yang channels flowing down into our hands and our feet. Okay, so we're just going to use some tapping on the back of the neck and onto the shoulders. You can use your fingertips like this, or use the flat of your hands. And we're moving energy away from the head, releasing it down into the shoulders. Okay. Good. So now let's make sure we get down those yang channels of the arms. We're just going right down the whole outside of the arm here. 3 times. And then brushing off. And then the other side. I don't know about you, but my face muscles feel amazing. Here we go. Down we go. And brushing off. Okay, and now we have the sides and the back of the body, so we can go like this, as high up as we can. If you've got a friend that you're doing, or family member that's doing this with you, you can get them to do this on your back. If not, you can do it on your own, just tapping as high up as you can, down through the lower back. I'm going to go down the backs of the legs, particularly. Because we already did the stomach and the gallbladder channels earlier on, so we're just going to go down the backs of the legs. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's check in again. Awesome. Can you feel that? The feet nicely open. You can feel kidney 1 and kidney 3 just humming away there. And now we've released the head and the neck, which balances out those yang channels. So if we're standing here, we've got a nice balance between the yin and the yang energy in our bodies. Okay, so let's just finish off by doing some shaking. Now, shaking is super important because it can do two things. It can help unfreeze frozen areas if you're in the blue zone, but it can also help release any tight areas if you're in the red zone. So we're going to work down through the body, and we're just going to basically shake out or any frozen or tense areas. Okay, so we're going to start off with the head. The first big joint of the body is the jaw. Let the jaw go. I'm going to hold it there. Just shaking the jaw out. Okay, and then we're going to just shake the head and the neck area. Just going to feel those vertebrae just loosening up. Nice and easy. Okay, and then we go down into the shoulders. Keep that jaw relaxed. You're going to keep the shoulders really open. Create some space in the shoulder joint. That's it, really, really get it moving. Releasing the elbows. And then the wrists. And fingertips. Okay, then we're going to go down to rib cage. Let's get those rib cage really shaking. Shake out the thoracic spine. Move forwards and backwards. That's it, getting the breath involved. Very good. Go down and let's see if we can release the diaphragm. I'm shaking my diaphragm area here. And then relaxing the whole of the middle burner and the lower burner, so the whole abdominal cavity. We just let that all release. Then we get down to the hips, moving the hips about, relaxing the hips. We'll just relax this way. Okay, very good for any of you creeping into that blue zone. You want to keep everything moving, get some yang into your body, not too much meditation and internal breathing. You want more external movement to get that frozen energy system moving so you feel more alive. And if you're really in the red zone, it's good to shake out again, because what you're doing is releasing tension and stress that you might be holding in your body. Okay, so shaking is good for both. Let's just go down. Shaking the legs, opening up the knees. Right down into the feet. And then the whole body. Brilliant. Okay, right, so now let's stand again. Wow, what an amazing different standing feeling. Look at that. Really nice and even. You notice we've done all the burners pretty evenly. We've released the yang channels. We've got that kidney 1 and 3 anchoring us into the yin. We've released the face. Okay. So let's just finish off with some nice even breaths. We're going to keep them nice and even just to stabilize ourselves in that green zone. Okay? Keep that kidney one open, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, now notice how much smoother the breath is than it was just an hour ago when we started. Nice, relaxed and open. Keeping the breath nice and even just to maintain that balanced state, that balanced green zone state. Very good. Okay, now let's just take a moment to really enjoy that. You've really done brilliantly. And look how much we've changed now. Look, we're nice and balanced. It's a comfortable feeling being connected to the earth, but still moving and still being connected to that yang. Just really enjoy that feeling for a moment. Just enjoy the feeling of being connected up completely in your whole body energy. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in this week. It's always a surprise to see what's happening with the with you, with us as a group. It's not you, it's us. We're all doing it together, and it's just a great pleasure to be able to share these exercises with everyone. So next week we're going to go a bit deeper into the water element. We'll revise yin and yang again, and don't forget that the reason that the lockdown is so tough this time is because lockdown is yin and winter and the water element is the most yin element. So of all the times of the year, this is going to be the toughest one. And that's why we need these exercises to keep the kidney yin and yang moving and energizing ourselves in exactly the right way. And the message this week, please, everyone, is just make sure that you're not creeping into that blue zone. If you start feeling really depressed, you start to feel kind of like you're shutting down, then that's when you need to go over these exercises, regulate your breathing, and I'll just go back to the red and green zone thing. Yeah, so if you find yourself creeping into that blue zone, you get a feeling of helplessness, you get a feeling of depression. It's your nervous system conserving your energy to make sure that you can protect yourself, okay? Now you need to be very kind to yourself and just introduce some yang elements into your life, okay? So you need warmth, you need movement, contact people, and then from the point of view of the exercises, what we need to do is we need to activate the yang, and we do that by emphasizing the in-breath. We do it by movement, shaking, particularly massaging and stimulating the face, the head and the face, particularly those smiling muscles. Get those smiling muscles working. Okay. Thank you, Diana. And if you're in that red zone, same thing. You need to chill out, get down into the green zone. The way to do that is to emphasize the out breath, chill out with the out breath, okay? And then release any muscular tension in your body and use those kidney 1 and kidney 3 points to connect with the yin, because what you need when you get in the red zone is you need more yin. You need more calming, more out breath, more cooling, more relaxation, more rest. So you can see it's very different, and it's very important that we identify where we are. When you're down in that green zone, which I hope you're feeling now, I hope you're feeling at least some feeling of a bit of joy, being in the present and being grounded. Those are all signs that your nervous system is starting to regulate and it's starting to work. Okay, so let's just find out how you are and see if anyone's had a reaction to the session today. I'm going to share this. Just let us know if you feel more balanced overall, about the same, or less balanced. If anyone's had a reaction this week, that can happen. It can happen if you activate, particularly the middle burn, you get like an emotional discharge. Usually that lasts for a day or two, but we don't seem to have any this week. So that's really, really good. Okay, and if you feel pretty much the same, then I would encourage you to just revisit the recording and just, repeat the exercises until next week. And I'm going to catch you next week, and we're going to go deeper into the water element and we've got kidney 10 as the point of the week. So see you next week, everyone. Thanks very much for tuning in.